We begin our report with a federal indictment of a sitting lawmaker and a plea of not guilty. New York Republican Congressman George Santos has been charged with 13 counts. They include wire fraud and money laundering. He is now free on a $500,000 bond. Federal prosecutors say Santos was involved in 3 separate schemes. The first-term congressman has joined the list of more than 10 members of Congress who have faced criminal charges while in office. And now the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, is pulling back.
No, I'm not going to support that.
You're not?
No.
Okay. So you guys will work to try to defeat him in the primary?
Okay. Santos has a lot going on, but I think he has other things to focus on his life than running.
So you don't plan to support Santos for re-election?
That's what I said.
Our Caitlin Huey-Burns was at the courthouse earlier and shows us how Santos is responding to the charges.
Chased by reporters and cameras outside a Long Island courtroom, George Santos used the spotlight to launch his criminal defense.
I'm going to fight the witch hunt. I'm going to take care of clearing my name.
Santos was released on bond after pleading not guilty to charges of fraud, money laundering, and making false statements in connection with his 2022 congressional campaign.
I believe I'm innocent.
In a 13-count indictment, prosecutors detailed an alleged scheme by Santos to solicit funds from donors who believed they were contributing to his campaign. Instead, they say, Santos spent the money on personal expenses, including luxury items like designer clothes and credit card payments. They said Santos lied about his income and his assets on these candidate disclosure forms. Santos said those prosecutors don't have all the evidence.
What evidence do you have that they don't have?
Oh, I have plenty of evidence that we will now be sharing with the government in this case to make sure that I can defend my innocence.
Prosecutors also accuse Santos of falsely claiming thousands of dollars in pandemic unemployment benefits, while they say he was actually making 6 figures working at a Florida-based investment firm. Today, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said Santos is innocent until proven guilty.
Like every American, you have your day in court.
I will not resign.
Santos said he would return to work in Washington.
Are you planning on running for re-election?
Yes, I am.
And why should anybody believe you now?
Well, like I said, I will prove myself innocent and then we'll move from there. And re-election is a very far time away from now.
And as part of that $500,000 bond agreement, anytime Santos travels outside of D.C. or New York, he's going to have to alert federal prosecutors. And he's expected to appear in court next on June 30th. John?
Caitlin, you were in the courtroom. What stood out to you?
Well, Santos was very solemn. He sat next to his attorney and responded, yes, ma'am, anytime the judge alerted him of his rights and made sure that he knew of his rights. He also waived his right to a speedy trial, and his team says that they have a lot of evidence that they want to supply and want the room to do so and want to give the prosecution also the room to do that as well. But what stood out to me is that, John, as you know, we've been following this for months. And Santos has been defiant in his case for months. He's said, yes, I exaggerated parts of my resume. But today we saw that this was much more than any sort of fabrication of your past. These charges detailed in this indictment are significant and show the body of evidence that the prosecution has. And now the question is, can Santos do the same?
And when he got out of the courtroom, Santos was not so somber. How do you see his response to these charges? Do they compare at all to the way in which President Trump has reacted when he's been faced with legal woes?
Well, John, that's exactly right. He echoed the sentiments and rhetoric that Trump often uses while under investigation. He came out and said this is a witch hunt, really using former President Trump's own words there. And he maintained his innocence throughout all of this. I asked him about, what evidence he is going to have to show, and he maintained that he will have the evidence to refute these charges. So that, of course, remains to be seen, but very much taking that kind of same posture, not relenting, not giving in to any calls by Republicans to resign, and not giving in to any constituent calls to resign as well. In fact, he's running for re-election.
Well, and that is a difference between, while his reaction to the charges is very similar to former President Trump's reaction, what is not the same is support from within his own party for his reelection. You've covered what Republicans in his district are saying, and now the House Speaker has weighed in on his reelection.
That's right. That's what the big news is tonight, that McCarthy has said that he will not support Santos for re-election. And this is significant, John, because McCarthy has stood by Santos. Earlier today, he said, look, he deserves his day in court. You're innocent until proven guilty. He noted that Santos, of course, had removed himself from committees, but he has also really needed Santos's vote in Congress because of that slim, narrow majority that Republicans have. And Santos has been a reliable vote for McCarthy on key items. And so this is a significant posture that McCarthy has taken by saying he's not going to back him for re-election, but he's not calling on him to resign now. And so that also gives Republicans a chance to recruit candidates. We already have seen the party infrastructure in New York abandon him. So the question is now, who will they support as an alternative to Santos?
And we'll see if the Speaker still has his vote for the remaining period of his term. CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns, thanks.